some of these into beautiful beats. So without further ado, this is weekend beat time. What's up, guys? Welcome to Weekend Beat Time. My name's Alonso Magical. If you're new to the channel, or you just, I don't know, man, you're just catching up on this stuff, man, welcome. Every single week we get together, well, most weeks we get together and we basically make some beats. This week I have a challenge. It's a challenge for myself. It's a challenge for you guys. It's basically making a beat with 10 seconds of sample time. This is a bit of a throwback, all right, because I know that the older cats, the guys that have been in this game for a long time, and the people who are really purists in hip hop like to use the older machines, and the older machines have limited sample time. So I've set myself the challenge to use my MPC and stick to 10 seconds. But look, it is a good exercise, man. It is a really good exercise to try to use less sample time. There are benefits to doing it, man. Believe me, it makes you sharp on your game. It makes your ears sharp for a sample. It makes you resourceful, and a whole list of other benefits, man, that are probably too long to list. All right, man, so hit that thumbs up if you like the video, guys. If you want, skip the whole thing and just listen to the beat in the end. If you enjoy it and you actually want to know how to make it, I actually do it all in depth, like every single week, man. And then yeah, do whatever you want, man. All right, guys, so share. Thank you for the support as always, and just enjoy the episode. All right, enjoy the episode. Peace. Alright, guys, so what we're gonna do is we've got a challenge. It's a challenge that we're faced with of keeping our sample time to 10 seconds. Now, why are we gonna do this? Look, it's a good exercise, alright? And it's a good exercise because you'll develop your ear a lot better, in the sense that you will be more selective and you will learn to predict what your beat will sound like before you even begin to flip the sample. That's something that I realized, especially when you work on some of the older machines. Now, I would have loved to have had like a SP1200 or something like that to mess with, but I'm not going to be doing that today because I haven't got one. All right. So this is the machine we're going to be using, of course, the MPC 1000. Now, the MPC 1000 has 11 minutes and 44 seconds of sample time. Well, this one does anyway. So we're going to keep it to 10 seconds, meaning 11 minutes and 34 seconds. All right. Okay, man. So our first sample is our snare sample. It's coming from the Jerry Butler album, offering the Spice of Life. And it is track number 3 on that album, called I Only Have Eyes for You. Let me play that real quick for you guys so you can hear it. There's a snare at the start. Oh, shit. There's also a rim shot. Alright, so there's a snare and a rim shot. I'm going to be recording that, alright? Okay, so we got our sample, which is, I'm going to still use the same album by Jerry Butler, The Spice of Life, and it's track number 4 called That's the Way It Was. Alright, or that's the way it is. It has that in brackets, I'm not sure. Alright, there's a couple of things that we're going to do this to keep our sample time down. What we're going to do is, first and foremost, this is a record that's played at 33 rounds per minute. We're going to do what it's very common back in the days, and we're going to speed that up. We're going to sample it at 44 rounds per minute. It's not always a good thing to do, alright? It's not always a good thing to do because when you slow it down, it does distort the sound. Alright? So if you want to make a cleaner sounding beat, you're better off not doing that. There are ways of sort of getting around it to stretch it out a bit more. But because I'm trying to maximize, I'm just trying to have a bit of fun here, I'm going to be playing it at 45. Okay? Now here's another little trick when it comes to sampling when you're restricted with time. Alright? This is how you could think about it. Now we have, it's basically a 4-bar loop, right? So we've got loop 1 and loop 2. And what it will do is get Right? So it will basically loop like this, right? We'll play like this. Essentially though, what happens is that it will play this nice and clean, and then when you get to this section, this one here, the first three are actually, they sound pretty much the same. The only one that differs is this one. This is the only one that's different. So what we're going to do is we're going to sample this first loop, and then we're not going to sample this part here. All right? We're going to leave this out because what that's doing is it's wasting sample time for us, right? For you cats that got older machines and that you're trying to create longer loops, you know what I mean, but you're running out of sample time, this is a good idea. All right. So we'll sample that, and then when we come to sample the next bit, we will skip all of the first part, and then we'll only record the end bit. Why? Because essentially we'll play this, and then on our pads we'll play this again, and then play that one. Essentially copying that over, but sampling, but our sample time, we're not eating into it, because we're going to need our sample time for putting bits as a chorus and all that sort of stuff, man. All right. So those two things, we're keeping our sample rate, the record's playing at 45, so it's going quicker, and we're cutting down some of the needless bits of the sample. All right, that's what we're doing. Let's come to the machine. Let me show you how to do it. All right, guys, playing at 45. Here it is. And then that stops, right? And then we are going to record the second part, all right? Let me keep that. Let me do that again. Now we're going to record that second part. So I did the first loop, now I'm going to do the second part. All right. So this is the first part. Skip this next part. Skip this. Yeah. See that? That's what we just did, man. So I got the second part of that sample, not the first part. You know? Alright, man. So the drums that I'm going to use is by the Spinners. The album's called Labor of Love. This is what the cover looks like. And we're using the second track called Standing on the Rock. This is basically what the drums sound like. See that? So I'll get the kick there, and I'll get the snare. I'll sample that. As it's playing, I'll just basically be hitting that record button, turning it off, man. All right, just to sort of make it a little bit quicker. All right, and then we're gonna go back. We're gonna see how much sample time we have left. All right, cool. Okay, so now I'm in the process of taking the drums and, well, yeah, processing them, right? Getting rid of spill, getting rid of stuff that I don't need. For example, the kick here can be shortened, right? So the kick, it's got like two notes on it, man. I've talked about this before in other videos, man. If you want to know in more depth what I'm doing, it's about tightening the drum kit, right? You save on sample time as well when you do this. So check this out. If you hear the note properly, it goes and it drops off. What I'm going to do is, instead of enveloping it, and some of the older machines didn't have envelopes, what we're going to do is, because envelopes doesn't save you sample time, right? So we're actually going to shorten it. So instead of it going boop, we're just going to just stop it. Nice and tight. Now my kick, right? Oh shit, man. All right, now my kick here has a hi-hat on it. I don't want that hi-hat. I'm playing the hi-hat. So I'm gonna put the low pass on it. Now this has a filter on it. If you were using the SP1200 or some other machine, they'd have like different outputs. So some outputs would already have filters on them, man. I mean, you could bypass them by leaving the cable sort of half in and half out. But for us, this is gonna be our kick. You know what I'm saying? So we could get rid of that hi-hat, because what's gonna happen is if you play kicks with hi-hats on them, and you're playing a hi-hat, it ends up it just sounds like a mess. All right, so be conscious of that when you're making beats, man. Does your kick have a hi-hat on it? Do you know what I'm saying? If it does, you can always low pass it, man, and make sure that you take it off. All right, cool. That, got my hi-hat and my snare. My snare is the original snare. I didn't use the snare from that second sample. It's from the original sample. Everything's 12-bit, everything's at 22,000 hertz. Because this allows you just to sort of play everything like that if you want. You know what I mean? It converts everything. Alright? Alright, man. Let's throw down a rhythm. Okay, so I'm going to be playing my kick, and I'm going to be doing my kick. I'll put it on 16 levels, which a lot of machines allow you to do. If they don't, leave it on touch sensitive. Basically means it gets louder the harder you press it, or in this case, the more I work my way up the pads, the louder it gets. All right, that's what I'm going to be doing. So to set a loop, I'm going to go for 88 beats per minute. I find that 88 beats per minute is the sweet spot, because you could either speed it up to, or you could slow it down to, and sort of work out the rhythm that you want. But 88 is not too fast, not too slow for hip hop, right? All right, 4 bars. If you're using the MPC 1000, it's sitting at a 68% swing, so it's almost like it's a pretty high swing at 1/16 timing. All right, cool. Let's throw down a kick pattern. All right, so we'll go something like. Alright, and then let's put the hi-hat on it. Alright, man, so I got the rhythm real quick. Because I'm using a snare that's from a different sample, right? What happens is sometimes the volumes are a bit off. So the quick way of adjusting that, right? See how the snare's too loud? Is put the volume down. Don't let your ears peak. Don't let them redline. Just put the volume down and adjust it. Just, you're almost looking at the sound, just going, is it sticking out too much? It is. So you start putting it down, right? Gets to a point where then the snare, the hi-hat is too loud. So you know, all right, the snare's too low. So you start bringing it up again, you know what I mean? And you look for it. That's good. I like that. See, you put it back up, and it's not offensive. It sounds good. You know what I mean? All right, let's look at our sample. That second one, see that we saved 2 pads. All right, so look, check this out. Two things can happen here. All right, just to give you an example of how much we can actually reduce this. Now I've reduced it to playing what's that? 6 pads, right? 6 pads as opposed to the 10 that we sampled. So we've chopped it down 4 pads, right? The way I've done that, instead of running through it, you come up with a different one, a different arrangement, and something that you can sort of double up on some keys. So check this out. Alright, so we got that. But if I slow it down, right? If I slow it down even more, which means that the sample stretches out even more, which means I don't end up with too many gaps in between things, I can slow it down even more. How we do it like this? How we do it like this? How we do it, do it, do it. How we do it like that? Do it like this. Now, if I use that one, I'm down to 5 pads, even 4. 4 pads, man. 4 pads, and I've carried the rhythm. You know what I mean? Good thing is that I could keep fucking around. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna opt with the second one, this one. All right, I'm gonna use that one. The reason why I'm gonna use that one is because I'm trying to minimize the amount that I've used. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll check our sample time and we'll see what else we can put on it. Cool? Alright guys, we have, let's check how much. Remember at 34, that's our limit. Oh shit. Okay, we got 30, which means we got 4 seconds left. 4 seconds of sample time left to mess with. Cool. Alright man, so I got these guys here. Roberta Flack and Piero Bryson. Right, and the track is the last one here. It's actually one of them live. It's called Love in Every Season and I Believe in You / I Believe in You. All right. There's a section here that kind of breaks away. It's kind of chilled. It's not too busy. And what happens is they have some trumpet and that sort of stuff playing. It was mainly what I was looking for was the sing. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was looking for. Found this. See that trumpet right there? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna sample that, all right? Because yeah, I believe that's what I've found something pretty good. And then again, I'll play it. I'll see what I have, and then I'll get rid of what I don't need. All right? Cool. All right, man. So this is it, raw. Just these two. So I'm just gonna play it. Alright, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play that on top of it. Alright, let's do a time check. Now 34 needs to be the time. Let's do a time check. 36. Alright, man. So what we have is 2 seconds left. Alright, so here's just another sound that I found. I'm not looking for synths. I'm not looking for anything that's too busy. I'm just looking for the just a nice sound that I could echo, man. So here's one that I found.
Languages call it Juliba or call it.
And I didn't do the whole thing. I only just sampled 2 tones, which is and that's it. Just so I can echo it through, man. Right? So I've got the sample here, right? And then I basically echo it out. Alright? You can just echo it out. So if I cut that trumpet off, we're not done yet. Guys, I got 1 more second. I got 1 more second left. It hasn't hit 34, it's still sitting on 35, alright? So I've got 1 more second left, but look, the beat's sounding full. Sorry guys, I think I forgot to mention that this sample is it's by Roy Ayers, Africa, Center of the World, and it is the intro to the River Niger. All right, it's the intro to that. It talks about the river and all this crap. All right, cool. Sorry, man. I just thought I'll throw that in there. I think I forgot to mention what sample it was. All right, guys. And last thing, I just grabbed. Look, if you need some vocals, I don't mean like people singing and singing and singing, but if you just want some sound, something you can just use in the background, Nancy Wilson is the go-to person. She's got a really soft voice. It's hazy. The way she sings, man, it really sits on top of beats. Nancy Wilson is the go-to person. If you see this record, it's pretty recognizable. But if you see this record, you see a record by her, purchase that, because yeah, you won't regret it, man. So look, it's Nancy Wilson. It's the sample will be too specific, you know what I mean? So look, the album's called Something Beautiful, Something Wonderful. A little bit of a sound there. It's just to play, just to fill the rhythm up. All right, cool. Let's play. There you go. That's all I do. And because we've got a number of things happening, right? We've got an echo playing, we've got two sets of echoes playing, and then we've got the voices coming in. I'm making sure that they don't clash with each other. So when the voices come in on this one, they need to come in towards the tail end of the sample, because there's nothing really happening at the tail end of the sample. But when that big kick comes in at the start, we cut the sample off, the voice, you know what I mean? So it gives us some space. So they all come in like that. Alright, let's just do a bit of a track presentation real quick. This is taking forever. Alright, moment of truth, guys, is at 37. Oh, 34. Yes, it is. 34. There it is. 10 seconds. We hit the 10 seconds, right? We went through and we sampled and we did 10 seconds. Here are our samples. Just a couple of them. Not many at all, man. Most of them 1 second. And then we have our beat. Now, just to recap, remember, sample fast, right? Sample in fast. The other thing is that once you've worked out what samples you need from the 8 that you get, or the 4, or whatever, throw out the ones you don't need. You need to try to not use the whole loop. If you can double up on some pads, if you can change the rhythm, do that. That way you get more sample time, right? This is a bit of a challenge, you know what I mean? It's just a bit of fun, so that you could use even less. And then you start going through the samples. I've got a video on how to find perfect matching samples. You can check that out. But you'll use that method. We're playing the beat. I'm looking for a sample, and I'm looking more for noises and sounds, right? Synthesizers, introductions, little sound effects and stuff that we can echo through it. Right? The key is to echo. And what I mean by, or delay, right? You use the delay, the manual delay, you know, where you play it and make it really ambient. That way you can actually fill the loop up without necessarily needing tons and tons and tons of sample time. All right? So, all right, let's go through and just, I'm going to pick you up right now. Let's listen to our beat. All right? Let me pump this up a little bit here. This is it. This is just the bass line. Now, there's no actual bass on it, right? Check it out. Voice on. Let's play one more time and then we'll let the chorus come in. And then with the trumpet. Alright guys, that's it for me, man. Thanks for tuning in as usual. I hope you learned a thing or two, man. I'm challenging you guys, man. 10-second sample time. Limit yourself. Try use less. Don't complicate things. Use your delays. Use your samples. You could really avoid sounding exactly like the sample if you go and you mess with your pads, double up, use your own manual delay, play with it a little bit, get rid of the crap you don't need, man. Don't worry about that. You can make it sound absolutely minimal, absolutely classic. Look at that. It's good rhythm. Sample drums, everything sample, man. And it will never sound the same again. You know what I mean? So peace, guys. All right, man. Take care of yourself. My name's Alonso Magical. Thank you for joining me again for Weekend Beat Time, and I'll be seeing you guys around. All right, man. Next week. So all right, man. Take care of yourselves. All right.